The debate is now open.
Speaker, I want to submit on the issues. Madam Speaker, better be presented in the debate as Parliament is to ensure, and whatever we should do should help us as a country. Now, when I listened to the two reports, they were elaborating achievements of the Coffee Development Authority, that when they were put in place, they were able to ensure issues of quality, issues of certification, issues of market. This was the narrative. But the conclusions were that if this authority is rationalized or merged with a major ministry, these achievements will be reversed. But how they will be reversed was not explained. Because I expected to hear that when these authorities are merged, what are the changes that are going to take? If they are merged, what will be the issue related to the roles they have been performing? How these roles will be affected, therefore affecting the achievements? These arguments did not come clearly.
We are talking about our lives. This is not about merging one organization and the other. We are saying this agency has the sole responsibility of regulation.
I want
Just a minute. There is a clarification that I need to get. On the issue of dissolution, on the issue of mainstreaming, on the issue of merging.
Right, Honorable Speaker, before the Minister comes in, Honorable Nsamba House, that UCDA has the sole responsibility of promoting our coffee. When he was a member of the Budget Committee, he himself appropriated money for a private company, 37 billion, to go to that company to go and promote our coffee. Wasn't that a vote of no confidence in UCDA by you, the members of Parliament?
Honorable members, honorable members, Susan, Goretti, sit down.
Madam Speaker, my name has been
Christine.
mentioned. Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Kabanda.
In the public gallery, we have pupils and teachers from St. Kigero Primary School, location. Honorable Minister, you first sit. You're most welcome. Honorable Chair, Honorable Minister, I will give you after budget. You will not say no. You did not carry that.
Appropriate money. It's a parliament that appropriates the monies. And I therefore ask that statement of Honorable Kabanda be expunged from our records. I beg to move.
But was the money, the parliament appropriate 37 billion?
Yes, in order to promote coffee. I beg to move.
And is talking about was given to Edwin and Rabogo to go and establish a coffee factory. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, please, let's respect our rules. Let's have respect for our rules. You don't speak about people who are not in their house.
Madam Speaker, I was part of the Budget Committee, Madam Speaker. But that money was passing the 3%.
There's a procedure.
The 3% prior to parliamentary approval. It was not the Budget Committee.
It was a procedure. There's a procedure matter.
we have done our best to make sure that in our talk show, in our community mobilization, we are mobilizing our people to plant coffee. And I must tell you, I am happy and excited when I see the pressure in the House when it comes to a situation that is touching coffee in the country. And therefore, I know I have been interacting with many members of parliament who come from areas where coffee growing is. And it looks like we are under pressure from the voters who are saying, protect areas where we are receiving our money, and they think there is something going wrong when coffee is touched. Right, Honorable Speaker, something which is very important in this world is what we call change. And when change is coming,
honorable members, let's give each person time to speak.
And when
listen.
change is coming, people will always be threatened. They don't know exactly what will happen after the change. Whether it is going to be a positive change, whether it's going to be a negative change, they will not understand it at all. I know a situation where we were also informed, for us, we don't sit in the caucus. The same environment we are facing now is also what was going on in the caucus meetings. And therefore, that shows to you something has not been done right still. If this is something that is really bothering us, why don't we get a proper way to make sure people understand this situation well? And that's why I like the question you ask. And I wish we give time with soberness so that the minister explain and we understand whether this authority will be dissolved, and if it is going to be dissolved, personally, I will not support it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That I want to believe that when you decide to create an entity, you create with specific. The intention of the merger is probably to create a more effective strategy in as far as the promotion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Discuss. This is not a merger. Let the minister
Stand.
No, but they are talking about a merger.
Honorable Minister, I want you to accreditation, the dissolution.
People who have fears that the absence of UCDA will undermine coffee production, you must be mindful of our history that when we had the coffee boom during Amin's time, UCDA was not there. Currently, these products are being regulated by National Drug Authority. Government, in its wisdom, has realized that we have to separate these from medical inputs. But listen, we want to operate efficiently.
Honorable members, Honorable Minister, just
So,
wait.
one of the minority
Honorable
members
Minister, just
said
wait.
that this
Let's listen to the minister. If he's lying, take notes and say the minister lied in this and this. You first listen to him, and that will form your debate. Honorable Minister.
We take on the regulatory functions of all foodstuffs, including cocoa, including tea. Now, those who are pushing for the authority, shall we have the authority for cassava, authority for banana, authority for beans, authority for maize? Madam Speaker, let's be sober. Let's be sober.
Honorable members, sit.
When people are transforming automobiles into electricity. You cannot say I maintain a diesel engine because it is working. It is spending much money.
Speaker, the role of UCDA, selected regions of this nation. The people in the northern part of Uganda, especially in West Nile, have just woken up to coffee excuse me, Madam Speaker, can I have my privilege as a member of parliament? Madam Speaker.
Honorable members.
Madam Speaker, through the PDM, government has outlined the 7 enterprises that are lucrative, and coffee is at the top of those enterprises. But for 30 years, what has UCDA done in West Nile and Northern Uganda? Number 1. Number 2, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg for my privilege as a member of parliament to speak. I beg for my privilege as a member of parliament to speak in this house.
Honorable members, can you kindly keep quiet?
Right Honorable Speaker, when Ministry of Agriculture...
Just a minute. Honorable members, I want you to listen. Can you listen? Honorable members, if you don't keep quiet, I will not give anybody to speak. Honorable members, I appreciate what you're going through. I know it is time for campaign. I know people. Now I am going to get people who are clear-headed. Dr. Baiga. Dr. Baiga, Hajat Rubega. Dr. Baiga.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker.
Can you people listen?
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm asking for the attention.
You speak.
Under these circumstances, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg your indulgence to take control.
Alan, why are you standing? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Dr. Baiga.
No, please, we are not demanding people here.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
So that you are accusing only clear-headed.
Dr. Baiga.
As the office bearer, you should have guided this house. That once this accreditation is lost, Right Honorable Speaker, it is going to take us very long time, and we shall have lost the market.
Number 1.
Honorable members, listen to Aisha.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to respond to issues before I got the gist of my submission. Number 1, it is not the fault of UCDA that Northern Region has not been major growing coffee. You should know, it was the government program to zone Uganda, allocating different products for different regions. And Uganda government allocated northern region for cotton. Therefore, it was not UCDA, and we must not blame UCDA for that. Number two, Right Honourable Speaker, I have had people saying government established UCDA, and therefore government should have the privilege of taking UCDA. Madam Speaker, let me mention this.
Clarification, Madam Speaker.
Can you be patient? Could you have a pen and paper and write?
Clarification.
Honorable Minister,
Would
you
you,
will clarify.
would you have
You will clarify.
a pen and paper and write? I want to inform First Honorable Bright Ramirama that I was an NRM cadre that explained these policies on radio, therefore I know them very well. What you did, I was explaining. And you designated products for particular regions. If the administrator desired that UCDA extends coffee, UCDA should have done as such. It was the ministry that desired that North should not grow coffee. At the time when you didn't that coffee goes across, they have started extending coffee all over. Having said that, no, Honourable Speaker, I was interrupted. I was saying that it is not the privilege of government executive to take away everything they establish as they desire. When you create entities, they are not for you. They're for the nationals. If the people have said, yes, you created it and we want it, it's not upon you to take it the way you desire because we now want it. Secondly, Right Honourable Speaker, I ably listened to the chairperson of the committee yesterday, answering all the defects in the law. The defects in the law were saying that some entities were wasteful, some entities were destroying the harmony, and the question was, some entities were being deprecative. Her answers were all in negative. She asked, is UCDA being deprecative? She said no. Is UCDA destroying the harmony? She said no. Is UCDA being wasteful? She said no. She credited UCDA for being very good. And finally, and that's when I wondered what happened to the well-able chairperson, what happened to her. I knew and forgave her. She feared the iron arm of the powers that are in this country. And we are here as Parliament to speak, to conclude the way she desired. She made the right submission, but feared to make the right conclusion. The right conclusion is to say that UCDA must stay. It performed excellently. It is not wasteful. It is not duplicative. It must stay for the good of the people. I submit, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you.
Honourable Member.
And I am surprised that the minister did not quote from his bill, which is presenting to Parliament. I'll read section 3 of the bill. The purpose of the amendment of the National Coffee Act 2021 is to A. Mainstream the functions of the Coffee Development Authority into the ministry responsible for agriculture. What is interesting is in B. Abolish the Coffee Development Authority and transfer the functions of the Coffee Development Authority to the ministry responsible for agriculture. Madam Speaker, what is annoying is in 4. In 4, they say dissolution of Coffee Development Authority. On the commencement of this act, the Coffee Development Authority established by Act 17 shall be dissolved. I wonder how the contracts the minister has been talking about will be alive when the UCDA is completely dissolved. I have been with a lot of respect for the minister, and I don't know why you want to dissolve them from me. If the UCDA is not existing, then the contracts are as well dead. I want to submit briefly on the chairperson of the committee. Madam Speaker, I looked at the demeanor of the chairperson of the committee yesterday.
Discuss the report.
Yes, Madam Speaker, what she submitted in the report only needed the conclusion, and the Parliament carries it the way it is. And I want to suggest that the conclusion of the minority report should now be the conclusion of the majority, and then we carry that one. Other than that, the chairperson of the committee stands a bad record for having very good information and then pours bad water on it. The resolutions they made in the committee and the conclusion are completely different. I want, Madam Speaker, to say this. My people I represent in Mityana are the best coffee growers in Mityana district. And as I am talking now, they are sitting on the roads to see what this parliament is going to resolve on the UCDA. Madam Speaker, I want to urge this house, and I want to pray before this house, at least consider UCDA to survive for the good and livelihood of the people in Uganda, including those ones who are growing coffee for the first time. Like my colleague here has suggested, that people in the north are now growing, they have woken up to grow coffee. Now if they have woken up, let us put more money in UCDA. They go to the north and teach them the best practices of growing coffee, and they get the money that they need to get. Thank you, Madam.
This afternoon, it is located in Nansana Municipality in Sereko, and Honorable Nalwima Ethel. Also in the public gallery this afternoon in Kawempe district. They are represented by Honorable Sekrinya Mohammed and Honorable Shamim. Honorable Medad.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I was an adult when we established these agencies. And the reason given by the government was that we were establishing strategic agencies to propel the development of this country. After painful listening to my brother, the Honorable Rwamirama, who I will not refer to as Bright today, I heard him say that the mischief was about the fat salaries. If it were about the fat salaries and humongous budgets, then before we rationalize UCDA and these agencies, we should start with those that created these humongous expenditures. Indeed, if we are to rationalize on a rational basis, we should start with rationalizing the Ministry of Agriculture. We gave them district farm institutes. Where are they? We gave them farms in Buyikwe. Where is the farm in Buyikwe? We gave them extension farmers. Where are they? So if we are to deal with redundant expenditure, we gave them ranches. Where are they? We should start with the rationalization of this ministry itself and not entrust this ministry with functions of an entity that has been the brightest star in the country. Right Honorable Speaker, we were informed by the majority report yesterday, and I want to thank my sister, the chairperson, that coffee has been accounting for 55% of the agricultural exports. Why don't we want to spend on entities and areas which give us money? The reason we maintain agencies like URA, Uganda Investment Authority, is because they are strategic. Do you want to tell me that a blameless entity called UCDA, which has promoted coffee after the destruction and death of Coffee Marketing Board, should be sacrificed because some people are not doing their work? Can we talk about expenditure in a government, in a parliament, for strategic reasons that gives money to a private company, and then we say we cannot give money to an agency? We were informed yesterday, Right Honorable Speaker, that this authority is going to be absorbed in the ministry, and I want to ask, at what level? As a directorate, as a department, as a unit? Since when? If we are to do this, why don't we get things like KCCA, Investment Authority, URA, and put them back to the mother ministries because we want to rationalize. Right, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, there are people who are deeply concerned in this country. Why haven't we consulted the farmers, the coffee farmers, the cotton farmers, and all the other core stakeholders? I want to conclude by saying, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the destruction of a country begins with the destruction of ideology. If we have performing entities and we want to kill them, one will ask, what did Ugandans do to us to deserve the punishment of destroying the small veins that continue to feed them? Maybe you could tell us how much UCDA is consuming from your treasury. We would mobilize cooperatives and associations, coffee associations in this country, to foot that bill, since you do not want to finance them.
Thank you.
I oppose the
Thank
move
you.
to rationalize the coffee.
Flavia.
Then why are we letting the mother, why are we sacrificing the baby to a slaughterhouse of a mother? Why is the mother eating the baby? Because first of all, UCDA is doing very well. Now we want to slaughter it by sending it to a slaughterhouse of a mother who is going to end up eating it, engulfing it totally. So
I was so impressed that at least we are receiving something that is addressing the concern and that is speaking to our people. Because when we are speaking about coffee, we are speaking on something or a product that has supported more than millions of families in our country and something that has contributed to the national treasury. So when I had the report from the chairperson, I was so impressed. But on reaching to the conclusion, there I wondered if really the chairperson was still independent and was addressing the concerns and the observations of the committee, or they were working under influence of an invisible hand. Madam Speaker, many people have come out to speak about coffee. And we have a lot of pain, not that we don't want to see government being responsible in the people, but because we know the impact UCDA has done to the coffee industry in our country. Right now, on-farm and off-farm, UCD is having tangible feel. People feel it because it has helped our people to see and realize enough revenues and to get enough profits. And we are seeing coffee development in our country taking the lead. So, Madam Speaker, I therefore move to be part and associate myself to the minority report to see that this parliament stands independent, so that we don't bring in the resolutions of cabinet, because I've seen...
Honorable Chivumbi, Chair of Uganda. Honorable members, I know all of you. I will pick you when I know I want you to speak.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
I've seen all of you standing up. I will pick you. You're all going to speak. Fortunate will speak.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Let's start from the known-knowns. The known-knowns is that the Ministry of...
Honorable members, listen to Honorable Chivumbi.
Right, Honorable Speaker. The known-known is that the Ministry of Agriculture, as of now, does not have the capability and capacity to take on the roles and functions of UCDA. That's a known-known. The second known-known, and it's factual, is that the Minister of Agriculture has just told you that they are in the process of setting up omnibus authority that will take up all these other crops. That is tea and whatever, and that authority is underway. Right, Honorable, that's also a known fact the Minister has put up. The other known fact is what all of us have said. And let me urge members here. An attempt to localize coffee will be a misnomer. Coffee right now is the national product. It is grown across all regions of the country. Like banana. For at one time, Buganda was the biggest grower of banana. Today, Buganda imports banana from Western Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, therefore, our bone of contention, Right Honorable Speaker, the minister has not answered the question, what's the best practices all over the world? The best practice all over the world, that special crops like a coffee is grown through agencies as a vehicle. Ethiopia has it, Brazil has it, Vietnam has it, Kenya has it. What we are doing today, wise people in Ethiopia try to do it. Wise people in Kenya tried to do it. 3 years down the road, they had abandoned and they are going back. Now the law, let me go to the gist of the law. The law seeks to dissolve. The minister here is putting an argument of a transition of 3 years, contingent upon government attaining some other capacities. Now, after killing UCDA today, when 3 years down the road, that capacity is found wanting, will you resurrect it? Will you resurrect it? Having killed it? Therefore, let us think full square. And next, that's why, Right Honorable Speaker, our position is very simple. That you don't need even the 3 years. Government can even come here tomorrow. If the capacity to assure quality, to market our coffee, and in a sustainable level is attained by MAIF, come here with the law, there will be parliament, we will pass it instant. Yes. Our question, Right Honorable Minister, the other day I put up a notion of legislating in anticipation. We are legislating that someday that ministry that has demonstrated incapacities, and I had a great care because I've just audited that ministry. It doesn't score any plus on any parameter. It is in a minus, from goat rollover, from tractors, from acre sites, from everything. I want to put the minister. If the Minister of Agriculture is doing well, let him stand here and tell us one crop which they have done so well, to give us a basis of confidence that they are up to anything. They don't have it. They've killed the tea on their watch. They've killed the vanilla on their watch. They've killed all other things. Even in fish, which is inherent in the lake, government had to institute a military to go in and intervene. This is an entity that is not ready today. Let us not create anxiety. Good business is about predictability and durability. Let us not slaughter an animal that is giving Uganda $1.4 billion as of today. It's a gold mine for this country.
Namuga.
We are here because we all love our country. And this, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the House and also encourage them to keep being objective when we're deliberating on some of these matters. Honorable Bright Ramirama, the Minister for Agriculture as of now, Right Honorable Speaker, I want this House, before even you debate the report for coffee, interest yourself in the Auditor General's report on agriculture for the financial year 22-23. Right Honorable Speaker, good enough I came with it. Right Honorable Speaker, we had, no please, this is my time, we had a scenario where, Right Honorable Speaker, we had...
Honorable members, I have said, let's be calm.
Right Honorable Speaker, I would expect my sizement, Honorable Ogwang, to respect the fellow member. Yes, because in any case, they will tell you to stand up.
But
Madam Speaker, now that Madam Speaker,
Honorable members.
You are short.
Honorable members. Honorable members.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for protecting Speaker. We are looking at two things, objectively. For me, I'm looking at the performance of an entity as of now that intends to take over responsibility of an authority. Right Honorable Speaker, all of you colleagues remember the issue of the foot and mouth disease. This is the same ministry that failed to manage that disaster when it happened. They were given money, failed to procure the vaccines, and we had over a million dose vaccines that expired within the stores. They expired. Yes. Two, they bought goats in the same report. You bought goats and all of them died. Yes, we bought.
Thank you. Evans.
Have any more authority to take over UCDA because you can't manage it.
Evans, Kanyike.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Members, let's speak faster. So many people want to speak.
Yes. Right Honorable Speaker, according to the three reports which were read yesterday here from the chairperson of the committee and the two minority reports, they stipulate it very clearly that UCDA should not go to the Ministry of Agriculture. I listened very clearly. I know Honorable Linda is my good friend. Let me hope that you were not intimidated. Let me hope that you were not intimidated, because the way you presented the report, it was a good report. But the way you concluded, it looked like...
You make your submission.
Right Honorable Speaker, according to the reports which were presented here yesterday, it clearly stipulates that UCDA should not go to the ministry.
Thank you. Lutamaguzi.
Right Honorable Speaker, when you had just become a Speaker of this August House, you say to the public that this is a people-centered parliament.
Don't put me into...
I withdraw, Right Honorable
your
Speaker.
Submission.
Don't put Right Honorable Speaker.
No. Go straight to the bill,
yes,
the coffee.
Right Honorable Speaker, being a coffee farmer, the people of Nakaseka I represent in this August House are saying no to rationalization. In the following, in the history we have ever had coffee marketing board. It went. We had the cooperatives. They went. There is no way you can cut a hand that feeds you, honorable ministers here. The economy you are talking about today is boosted by UCDA. One of the sectors that boosts this economy is UCDA. Unless there are pressures behind. I had the report which was read by the chair. It was very clear apart from the conclusion. So therefore, being a member of parliament, Right Honorable Speaker, a coffee farmer, and a defender of people down there in the villages of Nakaseka and across the country, including you, the Speaker, because in the beginning you told us you are also a coffee farmer. We are saying no to rationalization. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Madam Speaker, one of the most bright people in the army during that time is Honorable Bright Ramirama here. And if he takes history of Masaka, when they captured Masaka, one of the resources they used to win the war was coffee. You took coffee, signatures made by General Eli Tumwine the late, may he so rest in peace, and that's how, and Leyland vehicles. That was coffee marketing board. Later on, you killed the coffee after taking government. And people have fought their battle using UCDA to come back. Bugorob is nowhere. All the cooperatives are nowhere. People have started growing their coffee, and UCDA has given them support. Why do you fear people becoming rich? Why? Why do you fear people having money? Statistics in our constituencies show that because of coffee and UCDA giving them seedlings, people have got money. They are paying fees for their children. They are taking them to St. Mary's College. They are even paying money in government USE schools where you are not giving enough funds. But here you are trying to bring penalty by meandering back to the system. Kindly, Honorable Bright Lambirama, go to Isinjiro, where you come from. You know the bananas being grown there. Were they there at that time? What have you done to the horticulture? Obote, the person left coffee marketing board, lead marketing board, and produce for all other agricultural products.
UCDA that these people are talking about has never even sent any staff in my constituency to know how many coffee farmers that are in my constituency. If your mother ministry says therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, the information I wanted to give him and the clarification is that UCDA has never given any coffee seedling to my people, not even to any person here. They can even confess.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable
You see, Madam Speaker, there are members, sometimes we give time to talk. And wasting time with Honorable Kabanda is really a wastage of time. Because if you are a member of Parliament, and you are not aware of what you are doing.
Tell us what you're saying.
Madam Speaker, I have to care because the boomerang is on you. But UCDA has been giving us seedlings from Ngabirano. Now the one who took over, they have been doing that role. Even quality assurance alone. When you talk about Kasambia that does not have quality assurance, about
Thank you.
Who are you presenting in this house?
Thank you. Alan?
Of 3 years.
Yes.
And Honorable Abedi Wanika came in and gave in a transition of 5 years. Madam Speaker, they are not giving us a justification. And some people are suggesting 10 years, others are suggesting 20 years.
Honorable Minister, this young man here has a very good, bright future. The young boy is asking you, what is the justification of the 3 years? No, the young MP is very brilliant. That is a very good question.
Madam Speaker,
no, you'll come, Honorable Minister. You take note.
Yes.
He has a very pertinent question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the minister is not giving us a justification. And even Honorable Abedi Bwanika failed. Therefore, Madam Speaker, why are we legislating in anticipation? Why don't you wait until the 3 years elapses, or even 10, or even 5?
So you agree that we give the 3 years to elapse, then we legislate?
Madam Speaker, I'm recommending.
You're recommending?
I'm recommending, like this. I'm recommending, finally. We are not allowed to legislate in anticipation. Therefore, I recommend we maintain the status quo and we don't rationalize UCDA. Thank you.
Derek.
I have farmers and I'm a businessman.
Honorable members, Derek's voters are farmers. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And they are into business of coffee. They buy coffee, and I want to talk as a businessman.
They should even see your size.
Yes.
Yes.
They are into business, and I want to talk, and I want to address this in a business angle.
A perspective.
Yeah. In business, let us assume this is government in business, and we have been accredited to do business and given the license. And today, we're opting for something to clear an agency that has been accredited to opt for 5 years or 10 years without getting a license to operate, which is going to be a loss to the nation, to the farmers, and it is
I
also
want-
going to put us in a situation.
I want you to address this issue that Derek is raising very clearly. No, don't go. You people, what Derek is raising is very, very pertinent on the issue of accreditation. So we need that brought out very clearly. Yes, you continue.
Madam Speaker, if only the Minister could address on that and give us assurance, we do believe, yes, I submit.
Thank you. I told you Derek was giving a very good point. Brenda.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. First of all, I want to respond to what the Minister said, that actually they have so many bodies doing the same work like the ministry. Right Honorable Speaker, I come from a family that has been growing coffee for a long time, from my great-grandparents to my grandparents to my parents. So I know when coffee is thriving, I know when the prices are low, I know when they're affected, and I think I'll give you advice that in the 60s, our parents managed to go to good schools because coffee was thriving. In the 80s, it went down. People used to market coffee using cooperatives, and then when they were abolished, removed, they failed. Coffee went down, the prices went low. It is only this time. For the coffee farmers, they usually sell coffee in tins, and that tin now costs 40,000. It has never happened before. It's because UCDA has been doing good. They have been making sure that we store our coffee well. They look for markets. They improve on our
your bill is coming.
the way coffee is being handled.
The minister
So,
is here.
Honorable Ramilama, I need to inform you that a decision to abolish UCDA is going to cost your government a lot. Because our farmers are saying, regardless of the toughness of UCDA, we still want it to exist because we are seeing good results. Please don't trade this way. Otherwise, you're going to pay for this. Because our coffee farmers ask
both the majority in terms of the body and not the conclusion, and the minority report, the one given by our shadow minister. Right, Honorable Speaker, the minister has indicated the point of rationalization was doing away with agencies that are milking our economy. We have clearly seen that this UCDA, just in the last financial year, brought in an income of over 82.25 billion. Yet its budget was only 44.76 billion. This indicates that with actually time, UCDA is going to become self-funding. Right, Honorable Speaker, our people are saying no to rationalizing UCDA. If it is really brought in good faith, why not wait for the 3 years to expire? You sort your issues in order, then come back to this house. Those who will be here then will be able to pass this bill. Otherwise, Right Honorable Speaker, I submit on behalf of the people of Chotera, no to rationalizing UCDA, putting it in my ear. Thank you.
In that, even a layman down there, many of our boys and girls
After Robert, you go to Kabusu Moses. Moses, don't be distracted. Moses, you're being distracted. Then Juliet.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Most of our Ugandan boys and girls are going abroad to be slaves. But those who have managed to be here with the coffee, they are doing well. That is agriculture. We used to study in SST. The major economic activity in Uganda is farming. And the main economic activity through the cash crop we are in for was coffee and cotton. That's why we had the gineries around. We had the coffee factories around.
Now by this regime you have nothing. And the little which is struggling to survive, they are running for it. There is a term in Uganda used which I will not use. And that very term, you find someone who just comes for something which is on top, you pick that one, instead of helping it to go up. In that perspective, Honorable Speaker, I will challenge the Minister of Agriculture. Your research desk is so weak to the extent that even you wish to sell the land of research centers, the narrows are they are nowhere to be seen. The coffee wilt has been disorganizing our farmers. You have never come to rescue. But now you are coming for profits, which Ugandans have struggled to maintain and have. Shame.
52 billion shillings. President Museveni, Honorable Katumba, you remember in Kalangala. And it was for oil palm growing in Kalangala. Madam Speaker, ever since then, Ministry of Agriculture has never, in Chamuswa, has never even organized a single meeting with the farmers, even with the 52 billion shillings. The questions my farmers in Kalangala who are in coffee growing have with the capacity and the competence of the Ministry of Agriculture, the capacity of the Ministry of Agriculture to handle coffee that was growing on by its own are many. Madam Speaker, my farmers suggested that I bring you their opinion that coffee should be left the way it has been managed.
That you bring it to the House, not to me, Anita Mon.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, thank you.
Madam Speaker, I dressed like this humble. When a Muganda dresses like this, it's not for war, but to communicate that let this matter be handled with the dignity it has had, and let it not be vulgarized. Coffee should be left the way it has been, and farmers should benefit from it and not be killed like other institutions have been killed under the ministry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lotaya.
Minister, Honorable Bright Ramilama. But I'm wondering, people preach patriotism, yet you are not patriotic. You pretend like serving good food, yet you know very well that you have poison in that food. You know the curse you are creating for your family. You know what coffee means to most of our families. Why are you serving one person instead of the whole country? You mean you don't know? You mean you don't know what you are doing? We know that you are serving poison, pretending that you are giving us good food. I strongly deviate from what you are trying to bring to this house. I beg to submit.
All of them collaborated when it came to the contributions of agencies. Right, Honorable Speaker? This institution, Parliament, is very good at backbenching. When you go for backbenching, we not only look at the benchmarking, we not only cater for the strong areas, but also areas of weaknesses. Right, Honorable Speaker, the reports were all clear that countries which are doing well as far as coffee is concerned, they all do it not through their respective ministries, but under agencies. The reports also showed that the countries that have decided to rationalize, they've ended up backsliding. So, right, Honorable Speaker, we should always learn from even the mistakes of others.
Yes.
We are talking about the livelihood of people. Madam Speaker, my grandmother is watching this debate. She tried the moringa brought by this ministry.
You still
it
have
failed.
a grandmother?
Yes, she's there. She's watching. She tried the moringa under the ministry. It failed. She tried the caterpillars under the ministry. It failed. She tried aloe vera chigaji under the ministry. It failed. Now the coffee.
Isaiah.
Under the watchful hand of the ministry. Madam Speaker, we send love to UCDA and they are not taking our coffee. Thank you very much.
I'm not talking as a coffee farmer, but I'm talking as a coffee consumer who represents coffee consumers of Makindye and Kampala at large and some other areas. As a coffee consumer, I'm now much worried about the quality of coffee which will be supplied to us in the market. Because UCDA has been ensuring quality coffee in the market in Uganda and outside Uganda. So if it is taken to the Agriculture Ministry, we are very worried as consumers that our much favored coffee will not be favored in the whole market because of the lackluster way of the Agriculture Ministry, the way they do things, not concentrating on that type of quality of the bean of coffee. So, Madam Speaker, that's why I'm not supporting the rationalization of our Uganda Coffee Development Authority, because as consumers and businessmen, we are going to suffer with the poor quality coffee being produced under the supervision of the Agriculture Ministry. I beg to move, Madam Speaker.
Coffee.
Right Honourable Speaker, I am a coffee farmer. I'm a chairperson of a primary society. I am a board member to the Bugisu Cooperative Union.
I know what I am saying.
And quite often, I've been coming to office, Madam Speaker, getting permission.
And bringing me coffee.
Yes, to leave this parliament and I represent farmers of Bugisu in the international market. Even 2 days back, I've just come from Tocho, Madam Speaker. But when you go to the international market, Madam Speaker, it's not about the quantity of coffee you have. It's about the quality of coffee. And the quality of coffee always has a regulator. Quality of coffee starts from the nursery bed, where it is grown, where it is raised, up to the harvesting, up to the processing, up to the exporting. Now there must be an authority for that matter, which must ensure the control and of quality of the coffee as it starts from the nursery bed. Madam Right Honourable Speaker and members, if you go to the statistics of coffee export and you go to the international market, Uganda is doing very well. Initially, we could have a few bags of coffee export, but by God's grace, coffee is all over the whole of Uganda. You go to Eastern Uganda, massively they have planted. You go to Northern, they have started. Uganda needs UCDA today than even before, because we need that regulator to ensure the quality supply of coffee.
There is information
that the regulation starts from planting materials up to the cup. Now, I want you to imagine what would motivate this coffee specialist who has been with a big experience, earning 12 million, agreeing to go for 1,900,000 in government of Uganda and continue to earn that and doesn't compromise the quality of coffee. Madam Speaker, I'm not objecting or not opposed to the government policy of rationalization. But what I want to warn is that government should consider that the moment somebody is motivated to go for 900,000 when he has been earning 12 million as a senior officer, it will either bring corruption or neglect of work. Therefore, the ministry should know that we either maintain the salary structure of these people to maintain their expertise. Otherwise, we shall lose the quality of coffee by negligence and by corruption. I thank you for information.
Thank you.
From areas we have moved, you'll always see an official from the export board of that country working together with the Minister of Agriculture and working together with the agency like UCDA. They work hand in hand. If UCDA had maybe some inadequacies or some challenges, I believe if they had so, what could be better is to work on the challenges UCDA has. But most of them, you'll discover that from limited funding, government gives it. Because some of those exports, they don't go. So I could...
We all know and notice that it contributes a lot, actually doubles the revenue it sends to the consolidated fund than the budget it is allocated of about 42 billions. So it contributes about 82 billions, which doubles the budget allocated to it. And Madam Speaker and members, there are issues that affect farmers in UCDA. Let's try to work on those issues so that we sustain our farmers, most especially the youths who are employed by UCDA, and there are about 12.5 million people. So, Right Honorable Speaker, of late, coffee, a kilogram of coffee is about 13,000. Because of the quality assurance UCDA has put in place for our people. Thank you so much.
Myself, 80% of my people, the ones I represent, grow coffee. UCDA has helped and given an enabling environment for the farmers in my district to grow coffee. They have trained them. They have helped them to know how to plant coffee better. They have helped them in harvesting coffee so that when their coffee is sent on the market, it's of good quality. Now, if UCDA is dissolved, we are going to reverse all those gains. I want to say that I'm siding with the members of parliament who are saying that UCDA should not be dissolved. Honorable Minister, we are debating here, but we are representing millions of Ugandans who are surviving because of coffee. I grow
no conflicting roles with my if. Now, if at all she gave all those good compliments to UCDA, then why did the conclusion become the way it came? Right Honorable Speaker, Bugisu, if you remove UCDA, it's like you are draining the blood of the whole of Bugisu because they depend on coffee. I rightly want to side with the minority report which says that UCDA should remain because it has done a great thing to see that the livelihood of Ugandans, especially in Bugisu,
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I unanimously rejected Parliament to grant government permission to rationalize or merge this agency. And they actually sent me to bring this message here, that the moment the agency is merged, that will be the end of our coffee. Because we work for people, I don't agree with merging this agency. Let us remain with our coffee. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This idea in a bad spirit.
Thank you.
Why do you hate Ugandans?
To support them. And I wanted to tell the Honorable Minister that at the time the bill was returned to Parliament, as members of the Buganda Parliamentary Caucus, we took responsibility to consult people from different areas. We went to Butambala, we went to Mityana, we went to Luwero, we went to Buddu, we went to Buyikwe, and many other parts of the country. And the people that you're talking about, Honorable Minister, those coffee farmers that you're talking about, that you want to help, that you want to support, that you're doing it for them, those coffee farmers are saying they do not want the rationalization. So if you're doing it for Ugandans, the Ugandans are saying, please do not rationalize.
Bukoma Simbi, a place that leads in coffee farming. And I'm a Muganda who comes from here. Buganda has suffered a lot with the poverty. That's why the Katikiro echoed the Kabakazi voice.
Don't tribalize our coffee.
I'm not tribalizing, but I come from Buganda and I'm a Muganda. So let me speak about the reality. That's why the Katikiro of Buganda echoed Kabakazi voice to grow more coffee. And through a Manterimba initiative. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people we represent, we say it's not only improper, but it's even a crime to rationalize UCDA.
Thank you. Christian.
2 years later, Madam Speaker, UCDA has not let us down. The story has turned from bad, from the coffee wilty disease, to good, to better, to excellency, where we are now among the top 10 in the world as Uganda. Madam Speaker, today if you were to move UCDA to the ministry, who of the two should learn from the other? Because after 32 years without you handling a business, and then all of a sudden you come back, and when you read through the proposal to abolish UCDA, you will find that the workers now are going to be spread in different ministries. That means that we are going to lose all this institutional memory. And I don't know why a parent, because even in the act itself, the ministry is given a very big role. I don't know which parent would like her child to go back home after.
Ethan.
Right Honorable Speaker, recently I received the elders from my constituency, who were saying that there is a deliberate program of making this central region very poor. Right Honorable Speaker, we had the lake, our people can no longer go to the lake because of the issues there. People in Mubende cannot go to the gold mines because of the rich people owning them. What we are only remaining with is coffee, Right Honorable Speaker. Therefore,
Christian Sevama.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday we were told by the chairperson that UCDA performs beyond the target. They have improved the quality and they have raised.
Honorable Simba, just a minute. In the secondary school located in Mukono district. They are represented by Honorable Kiwanuka Abdallah and Honorable Nabukera Hanifa. Hanifa, they are there. Well, you greet them.
My students
Simba,
of
I'll give
Mukono, you're very welcome to Parliament. This is the Parliament of Uganda, and this is a Parliament that makes Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you for this time. I want to associate myself with the minority report, and also want to disagree.
Thank you. Simba.
Thank you. The Honorable Chair told us that UCDA is performing beyond the target. They have improved by quality and they have raised good revenue. Now, we are asking, why do we rationalize UCDA before we think of other entities which are not making profit, like URA and other entities?
Thank you.
I think UCDA must stay and we think of URA and other entities.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I will stand here to tell my fellow members
Honorable members, listen.
that I'm not only a coffee farmer, but also an exporter. I have been in this business for quite some time. Coffee development has very many stages, from growing, that is seedlings, the type of soil, transportation, all those steps employ Ugandans to export. And the quality of coffee is what makes us stand out in the international market. It is what those people out there are looking for. I want the minister, why I discern and I don't want actually to talk about dissolving UCDA is one. I want us to tell us how far you are, what steps you have taken, how far you are from within all those steps of, of coffee production, of the coffee value chain. Where are you? What shows that you're doing something before you even dissolve UCDA? So that we can, we can say 3 years. You will say that you won't even need you won't even need only 3 years to go ahead.
Thank you.
Just transportation. Sorry.
Catholic.
Like to thank the chairman. The person who read the chairperson of the committee for the wonderful report she gave. Apart from the conclusion, I liked every bit of it because she really brought it out that there was nothing that was repeated or, and everything. But the conclusion was, that's where we diverted, we deviated from each other. And my point here is, Madam Speaker, when you look at history, we had the cash crops. We had the coffee, cotton, tobacco, and tea. All those cash crops, they actually mapped that cotton is northern, I think tobacco West Nile, and then tea some parts. And there are organizations that run all these. There was Lint Marketing Board for cotton. There was coffee.
Kawalia.
Thank you. Right Honourable Speaker, let me add my voice to that of the precurrent speakers, that at least I also want to appreciate the report, apart from the conclusion. When we are speaking about coffee, we are speaking about the chief cash crop of this nation. It is the backbone of most of us here. We all know that most of our parents, our grandparents, benefited from coffee. And during those days, like in the 60s and 70s, the quality of our coffee was compromised. It was not until when UCDA was established that at least the quality of our coffee has improved. So, as Ugandans, we all know what coffee has done to most of the Ugandans, most especially the youth. We all know that most Ugandans are unemployed, and most of those who don't have jobs had resolved to go and start growing coffee. What plans does government have? We all know the bureaucracy that is very, very growing in most of the government agencies, most especially the ministries. You're now saying that you want to merge or even dissolve or abolish. What plans do you have for the young generation?
Can we hear now from the Minister?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Can we hear from the, before the Minister, the law?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. And Right Honourable Speaker, I'm glad that to a great extent, colleagues that come from the coffee growing areas have been able to voice out the concerns of the stakeholders from the areas where they come. Right Honourable Speaker, we were here yesterday and the reports were tabled. I listened to the report of the Honourable Linda, very good report, as she kept laying down the good about UCDA. She mentioned UCDA is hitting its targets. The coffee economy has grown over the years. The roles of UCDA and MAIF are totally different and cannot be bungled together, and so on and so forth. I wondered what happened now with the conclusion, because I thought after laying that stage, it would be clear that MAIF should keep doing what it is doing. UCDA should be empowered to continue doing what it has been doing. Honourable Speaker, of course, like any other entity, UCDA has some imperfections, without a doubt. But the challenges at the ministry are enormous. And that's why, as colleagues have been clearly airing it out, some of what the ministry is handling has seemed to be too much on its plate. And yet we are saying UCDA has been thriving. Why don't we empower it to thrive a lot more? Why don't we empower it to go to those areas which have now begun growing coffee? Because I listened to colleagues from West Nile and elsewhere, and they're saying we've also begun to grow coffee. But UCDA had not reached there. And clearly it is because, Right Honourable Speaker, government had decided, let us zone the country. These ones coffee, these ones dairy, and that kind of thing. And we must be able to move away from that, yeah? Yeah, because if a crop can grow in a particular area, why not? Why not let it? So can we empower UCDA to go to those other areas? Because if it is showing that it is able to thrive in the areas where it is thriving now, why do you imagine it will have limitations when you empower it to go elsewhere? Honourable Speaker, the stakeholders of the coffee economy, including, of course, MPs from the coffee growing areas, have spoken on behalf of the 12.5 million people that are involved in the coffee economy. Can we listen to these stakeholders? Yesterday we did listen to colleagues who were making a case, saying they are from the dairy areas, the cattle growing areas, the cotton growing areas, and they told us, because we began to defend them, and they said, no, you people keep quiet. We are the ones who grow cotton. We are the ones who are producing milk. So we understand our issues better. And we want those entities to go back to the ministries. We actually gave up the fight. We said, now, how do you fight for someone who is saying, for us who want our entities to be rationalized? We let them be. Today, Right Honourable Speaker, you're hearing voices of people who represent stakeholders that are growing coffee. We need to listen to them. Honourable Speaker, I even think, personally, if need be, maybe some people who might say, well, we are not too sure, you could grant them maybe 2 weeks or that kind of thing to go and establish from their constituents, to be certain. Because a number of us who are speaking, we have consulted the stakeholders that we represent. So we're not just speaking our mind. We're speaking the mind of the stakeholders that we represent. Honourable Speaker, very critically, the mandate of the 11th Parliament, this one, ends in 2026. I wonder why then we would say, let's give 3 years or even 5 years to bind the 12th Parliament. Why? Why do we want to bind the Parliament that will come after us? A number of us, I believe, will be back here, but we shall be back in the 12th Parliament. This is the 11th Parliament. If government is convinced that it requires 3 years or even 5 years to get the ministry set, to put in place all the infrastructure that is required, why don't you wait for the 3 years to elapse, put your house in order, come to the 12th Parliament and make your case? Because now we are operating in anticipation to say, well, we hope in 3 years we shall be ready. But you see, as some colleagues have mentioned rightly, to get the certification and all the infrastructure that is required in place, you need several years to do that. So government, let the 3 years, 5 years, or whatever time you require to get ready, to put your house in order. Come to the 12th Parliament and make your case. Don't ask the 11th Parliament to bind the Parliament that will come after us.
Thank you. Honourable Minister. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I've been in the House and I've noted and observed you've given opportunity to your left side to contribute on this very important national matter. And those of us this side
I'm going to give you.
Have been denied the opportunity to contribute on this very important matter, Right Honourable Speaker.
I'm going to give you.
So,
I want a clarification. I want a clarification from the minister first on what they have asked. Then I will come on this side.
Most obliged.
What we want to achieve is to share our real experiences vis-a-vis what the government policy is.
when you are choosing between your experience and what you are being told, I'm sure you choose your experience.
Colleagues, I want to thank you for your contribution and for the clarification you thought. I would like to start with the justification for the transition.
Honorable members, kindly listen to the minister. You wanted a clarification.
Right Honorable Speaker, once again, and because stakeholders seem to have been misinformed by dissenting views, government decided to allow 3 years transition to make sure that the stakeholders' concerns are plugged so that we move forward.
Before we even go to the 3 years, the minister must define so that we understand the ingredients of transition. What is it when you say transition?
And colleagues, we are changing the mode of operation. We are not changing the intentions and functions of regulation of the coffee sector. The 3 years transition means that we are putting them in the structure in the ministry to make sure that we don't make any mistake in the process of stabilizing them in the new department. 2, yes.
When we now go into the clause by clause, we need to define the word transition. If we go there, and if you cannot explain it here, it makes it difficult for us to think that we should even go there.
We shall define it.
This transition period will be supervised by the Ministry of Public Service. And yes, because it's the mandated ministry. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, it is not true that UCDA is independent of the ministry. UCDA is semi-autonomous. And whatever they have been doing, the policy guidance is from the Ministry of Agriculture. Right Honorable Speaker, there is no such a thing like accreditation of UCDA. First, listen, the membership of the countries for coffee is by country. Accreditation is for the labs. And I want to tell you, Right Honorable Speaker and members, when we withdrew from ICO, it meant that Uganda would not take directly coffee unless they go through another agency. And this is a mischief that you people now supporting UCDA had actually pointed out. Somebody, I think this was MP from Buvuma. I want to congratulate him to appreciate that oil palm has transformed the island. But also it has transformed that island. There is no oil palm authority. So, honorable colleagues, you raise the issues. Let me respond to them one by one. The coffee requires a regulator from garden to the table. The regulating authority is derived from the law, and the government intends to empower the new department with the same law to give them authority.
When you were talking, the minister never put you in order. No, you first listen to the minister. Yes, Honorable Minister, could the 3 years be a time that you want to buy for you to get the quality control systems?
Right, Honorable Speaker. As I mentioned earlier, we don't want to lay off workers who are doing the work. We are not going to abolish the functions of UCDA. The functions of UCDA will be executed. Please.
As soon as you sit.
Clarification, just Madam Speaker. Clarification.
You sit.
Clarification, Madam Speaker.
Sit.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the authority to regulate the power to regulate will be to the department.
Which department? The UCDA. Which department in the ministry? The coffee department.
They will be in the
UCDA.
They will be in Department of Coffee Development in Extension.
Yes.
Yes. See, Directorate. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable and colleagues, the approved structure is that there will be a commissioner for coffee development. And this commissioner will have all his assistants and support staff to regulate the coffee industry. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Sebamara inquired me to show the House how far we have gone with the regulation of the coffee industry in the value chain. Right now, we are using UCDA to do the job. From UCDA, we are going to use the same department to do the job. Whatever is said now, whatever they have achieved, the law of agency is that the actions of the agent binds on the principle. And to the supreme authority lies the blame or credit for the results. The good results, therefore, are credited to the ministry and the government itself. I want to clarify that the colonial zoning ended, and therefore, we are looking at soil suitability mapping, and we have recommended enterprise selection countrywide depending on suitability of the areas. Lastly, Right Honorable Speaker, it is good to walk the talk. If you are a nationalist and you can allow the other authorities to be rationalized and you resist one.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me way.
Well, thank you.
Madam Custodian, oh.
James, I've not given you to speak.
Sorry, Madam, you allowed me.
No.
You nodded.
James, I know you're my friend, but no, I did not give you.
Madam Speaker, how can a minister
James, I did not give you to speak. You listen, you first listen. You first listen. Honorable members, any other minister who has a clarification? Okay, Honorable Goli, Export Promotion Board. Just a minute.
The other issue which you need to see is the demand side, which is how is the market related to the supply. And what has happened is UCDA correctly helped in the improvement of quality so that the demand responds to it. However, I want to mention that the high price of coffee which we are seeing is just like we saw vanilla. You recall how vanilla did perform? It was very high because of problems of supply in the market. For coffee currently, it's because of the frost which happened in Brazil to enable the price go up. That is not UCDA, certainly. The issue I wanted also to mention is about, I saw the very important issues which were brought, things like staff, and the issue of staff where we need to maintain them, and 3 years was quoted. I want to mention 3 years, that staff have contract for 3 years. The other issue which was also mentioned is the Ethiopia, Kenya. They had agencies. When they changed, they went back, isn't it? They have gone back now. And the 3-year issue comes in, which is in our law, transition. So when you have, they did not do a transition to make corrections. Uganda is having and embedding a transition process to correct those possible wrongs. And then also the 3 years. Yeah.
Honorable Goli, could you explain a bit about the transition in this circumstance?
My view is that in the transition, and this is what I wanted to mention, the most important thing of UCDA is regulation. So if you are going to do the regulation and have that international acceptability, you need to prepare. You need to prepare the laws which can make you enforce. You need to prepare the laboratory which can make you do the things which are required. So those are you need to allow for the staff we are complaining about. So the staff, they have their contracts for 3 years. So 3 years become a consistent position for transition. So there are so many other things which can be done in the transition, but it helps bring that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm a member of the Agriculture Committee. The President, His Excellency, asked to meet the Committee of Finance, Agriculture, and National Economy. The position of government was, as the Minister says, to rationalize UCDA instantly, like with others. But because of the advocacy and the strong clarity that the President got, that the Ministry of Agriculture, from the committee's positions, that the Ministry of Agriculture is not at all ready, we agreed that we postpone the rationalization from the instant day to give time to the Ministry of Agriculture to prepare itself. That is the transition we are talking about. And that is why now the committee says, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yes. Right Honourable Speaker, let me give one comfort. It was banned to be exported in European Union. And when fish was banned, they created a department in the Ministry of Agriculture. And that department is doing very well and maintaining international issues of fish.
Order, Madam Speaker, order.
Honorable members.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me an... Allow me lay a document titled Membership of International Coffee Organization under the International Coffee Agreement 2007 as at February 2022. In this document, Right Honourable Speaker, there are here countries which have countries which have withdrawn from ICA 2007. Country number 1, Guatemala, Paraguay, Turkey, Uganda, United States of America.
Goretti.
I beg to lay the document, Right Honorable Speaker.
I want to see the document first.
Right Honorable Speaker.
I want to see the document first.
Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to lay on the table the decisions and resolutions adopted at the 133rd session of the International Coffee Council.
Honorable members, the minister can clarify on that, but to the best of my knowledge, it is true we withdrew. We withdrew. That is a fact. Everybody knows. The minister can call. You continue.
Honorable Speaker, accreditation and standardization. International Organization for Standardization, ISO, is a non-governmental organization which takes charge of standardization and accreditation. In the statute of ISO, Article number 4 provides for national committees which are supposed to be housed in the agencies that are responsible with accreditation and standardization. For this case, Uganda has UNBS, which houses National Committee, which is in charge of standardization and accreditation. And we do not need to worry about this. The fact is that accreditation and standardization will be handled by UNBS as stated by ISO. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg our friends and colleagues here that we are one. We are all crying for the farmers. The only thing that we need from government is refinancing and pumping money to the sector the way government did to Operation Wealth Creation for it to get the money. Otherwise, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Right Honorable Speaker, the information.
James.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Please take your seats. Take your seats.
40 or more members stand in their places, signifying their disapproval of the outcome of the vote. Right Honorable Speaker, these are over 40 members, and they are standing in disapproval of the vote that you have announced. Because I'm still engaging the Speaker. I'm with the Speaker. Chairman, come down. Chairman, come down. Let the Speaker first rule. Come down. Chairman, please come down. The Speaker hasn't ruled yet.
The clerk is going to count the people. Yes. Clerk, can you count the people?
Honorable Speaker, I thought that for certainty,
I am going to count.
Actually, Right Honorable Speaker, you count me to make it easy, Right Honorable Speaker.
Can I have the eyes move to the lobby of the government side? All the eyes move this side. All the eyes move this side. And let's have it count. Let's have the number. Let the all the eyes. Senor, you first wait. And the ex-officials, you get aside because you don't vote. We don't want to count you.
The speaker does not count. The clerk is counting.
The counting is taking place. Helen, Nachimuli, move your side. You sit. Honorable members, clerk, I'm waiting. You will have them. You wait. Honorable members, the ones who voted nay are on this side. Give me the numbers. Give me the numbers. Everybody in? Honorable members, can I have everyone in? Can I have everyone in? From the voting exercise under the division lobby, it must be noted that we had to take the vote through a division lobby because there was a contestation of the results of the voice voting under Rule 101 of the Rules of Procedure. And as the custodian of the rules, I listen to all sides, to everybody. And therefore, I really want to urge you, members, to have faith and in the capacity of a presiding officer, other than being impartial, and presiding officers always try their best to be fair. And I want to inform you that the voting record of today is going to be part of the official parliamentary record, and it should be uploaded in the parliamentary information system for future reference. For future reference. If you want to know who voted, who did not vote, you should be able to vote. And we went to vote, we went for voting because we did not believe in the results. I now want to announce the results. The nays had 77. Congratulations. The ayes had 159. So the ayes and abstainees are nil. So the ayes have it, and I adjourn the House and dine.